Hey guys, I've come back with another segment. Initially, I was going to make 2 videos out of this, and maybe I will wind up doing that because I think I've got a lot of footage, or I may just do a longer one, just one. But I wanted to bring you back and show you something else and give you my final verdict. So these are the 4 that I had made, and now I've made a 5th type that I will explain. But before I go there, I want to tell you that all of these have been in the fridge for a couple days since I made them. This is the texture I like the best and the easiest to work with. So I like that one. This one I just find so delicious. It's super creamy. This is the one that it's like a yellow cake with chocolate frosting. I just love that. And then this is the peanut butter one. Once again, it comes right off. And then this is the one that I've had to freeze to make sure that it comes off the paper. This one I won't make again. This is the one with the made with butter. So I will not make that. So this is the one that if I want to consume it, I keep it in the freezer and then let it chill a little bit on the counter. So I did want to recap those. Then, because this is the easiest one to work with and the texture that I love, but I love also the flavor of this. I love the flavor of all of them. So this is just degrees a difference here, except for that one. I love that flavor and I can make that flavor in one of these. But anyways, I wanted to see if I took this recipe but made this flavor. So given that this had cocoa powder, I wanted to see basically how much was the cocoa powder adding to this, or if this was flexible enough to create any one of these flavors. Okay, so I've had these in the freezer since I made them earlier, and I made them and then I frosted them like I did that one, same exact frosting. And then I just wanted to see what I've got here. So the verdict is, look at that. That replicated what I did here. Now let me see if I replicated the flavor with what I did here. Yes, I did. Flavor-wise, yes, I did. Now, what I'll say is, this is a creamier texture. But this has the flavor. So I really like that texture. I'm going to get a drink here. I like this texture. But in terms of the ease of getting off the paper, consuming, etc., in terms of it reminding me a piece of yellow cake with chocolate frosting, I just love that. But I also love the ease of this recipe and the ease of taking these out and how well this recipe stores. So again, I can take this recipe and get any flavor I want. So what was different about this one, just to remind you, this one was made with the beef protein. So I love the fact that I have a protein bar made out of beef protein that tastes like this. This one, remember, was made out of beef protein also. It was a peanut butter one. But I added so much beef powder to it. I mean, peanut butter powder to it. So I know I could make this same recipe, even with the chocolate frosting, and use a peanut butter flavor like I did with that one. Just, I don't need the peanut butter powder. And I want to make like a Reese's cup. I can just top it with the chocolate like this. So this one that I'm taking out of the mold right now was made with vanilla. So what I did is I used the vanilla equip. This was the chocolate equip. And then I used 1 scoop, 11 grams, and this was 11 grams of collagen powder. So this one I used a vanilla collagen, where that one I used a chocolate. And if I did a protein one, peanut butter one, then I would use an unflavored one because I don't have a chocolate collagen. I mean a peanut butter collagen. But like I said, guys, I wanted to come back and give you my final verdict. I love these. I do love the mouthfeel of that. That is something I will make again. But for this one, clearly I won't make that one again. And this one, remember this has the yogurt, made with yogurt. The peanut butter beef. And the peanut butter powder and yogurt. I would go with one of these two. There's nothing wrong with this one. I just like, again, I like this. So, there you have it, you guys. I'm going to check Equip. And I'm going to check what other flavors they have, because I have peanut butter, I have vanilla, and I have chocolate, and I know they have some other flavors. So I'm going to check that, and I'm going to get them just in making this. I really, 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 really like how this turned out. Okay, guys, I'm back in another segment. I'm really having a ball with these protein bars. So because I like the chocolate one with the little protein puffs on the top, and then I just proved that I could make that with without cocoa powder, that cocoa powder is not a key ingredient to that creamy texture and that ease of pliability. I'm now trying different protein powders. So I'm making that same recipe, but I'm making with the different type of protein. So I've made it with the beef one. I made it chocolate. I made vanilla. I know those work. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking that exact recipe, but I'm using 2 different protein powders. So the first one, so I'm making two more recipes. So this one, I'm making it based on a milk-based protein with a little bit of whey. So it's the same ratio. It's 125 grams and 27 grams. So I have 125 grams of salted caramel keto chow. That's a milk-based protein. And then I have the 27 grams of the whey protein vanilla concentrate. So that's what I have in here. And then I have a scoop of vanilla collagen powder for the chewiness. So I have that. Now I'm just ready for the wet ingredients. So I have 60 grams of water with 19 grams of coconut oil that I heated for 30 seconds. So that's all melted. So that's going in. And then I need 58 grams of syrup. And I have the RX sugar, the caramel. So I'm going to use this one, and I need 58 grams of this. Okay, I went over just a tad bit by 3 grams, but that's okay. So now I'm going to mix this together, and then I'm going to drop it in the molds, and we'll see what we get when it's predominantly a milk-based protein. And then I'm going to repeat this exercise with a plant-based protein, my Sun Warrior chocolate, which is primarily a pea-based protein. So this is interesting. This is what I was expecting. I'm not sure this is going to work out. And here's why. Look at how powdery that is. When you saw, I actually have a little bit more liquid in this one than I did in my vanilla one. And this is because the milk-based protein is so thirsty. The beef-based protein is not like this. Okay, so I need more liquid to this. And I wonder then if this is going to affect the texture. And I'm going to guess that it is. But this is why I'm doing it. So I didn't know if it was the ratio of ingredients or the type of protein. And I'm concluding, before I even finish this, that it's the type of protein. But we'll go all the way through this and before we make the final call. But that's the way I'm leaning right now. All right, so we have our salted caramel batter here, if you will. Okay, I'm not going to add any more water to that. I'm just going to take the tray and fill this up. And we'll see, I got 6 out of this recipe the prior 2 times with the beef-based protein that I've made. But I'll tell you, this batter is feeling like the one I made with the vanilla chocolate initially. And that makes sense because that was predominantly a milk-based protein. So I'm expecting to get the same result. So I'm ruling out the ratios here is what I've wound up concluding here, and I think that's going to be the case before I even finish this. But this is why we do this. This is why I like to experiment, so that I can bring you this insight, because I don't know how many of you have a beef-based protein, so I like to show you what the difference is in this. Because basically you're learning as I'm learning. A lot of these well, actually most of my recipes, I don't even know if there's any of them. I don't do these in advance and then bring you some clean edited video. I get an idea and I take it to film. Because my thinking is, by sharing with you the whole process, you may pick up on some tips that I don't and share. Like for instance, somebody gave me a tip about tarragon the other day. You guys gave me the tips about adding to my PSMF mayo some of the ingredients, the paprika and the whole egg powder or egg yolk powder and the dry mustard powder. So anyways, by taking you guys through the whole process, I think we can kind of work off one another. But also, I'm sure most of you guys have the more commercially available protein powders on hand, which are predominantly whey and milk-based combined. And I'm showing you this is the result you're going to get with those. Assuming my hypothesis here holds true, which is this is going to produce more like my It was my 4th protein bar that I made, which I told you I absolutely love. It's like eating a piece of yellow cake with chocolate frosting. So this batter's pretty easy to work with, as you're seeing. So I'm going to finish this off. I'll put this in the freezer, and then I'm going to come back in the next segment to repeat this recipe, but with a pea-based protein. So I'm going to be pretty interested in that because I'm getting such a different result with these guys in terms of texture. Among these different protein powder blends. Okay, so I'll come back in that segment when I'm cleaned up here. Okay, so I've got 125 grams of the chocolate, Sun Warrior High Performance protein. This is a vegan-based protein powder. I've got 19 grams of cocoa powder. I've got 25 grams of the whey protein concentrate. I just used vanilla. And then I've got 1 serving of chocolate collagen. So those are my dry ingredients. Now I'm ready to add my wet. So I've got 60 grams of water. And to this, I have 19 grams of coconut oil, refined coconut oil. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Glass is hot because I heated that in the microwave. And now I need 58 grams of a syrup. I ran out of my chocolate RX sugar. Haven't got that back yet. So I'm just going to go with a plain syrup. This is all you lose. So an allulose-based one. And again, I need 58 grams. Just about there. There we go. Okay, now I'll mix that all up. And we'll see what we get with our pea-based of vegan protein powder, a plant-based protein powder. I'm very curious on this one to say, is this more like a dairy-based one, or is this more like the beef-based one? Well, we're going to know very soon here, first of all, because I know with the beef-based one, that's enough liquid. And I can tell you right now, it's not enough liquid for this. So I'm getting a similar result as I did with the dairy-based one. And it's not as dry as the dairy-based one, but you'll see here that it's crumbly, and I'm going to need more liquid. Okay. This is reminding me of when I made my cookies out of this. It's one of the very first recipe videos I did on my channel. How far I've come. That used to be like my only recipe for protein. Was my protein cookies based on this powder. All right, I need a little more liquid. I'm just going to add it all. So as you can see, this is looking like the one with milk protein and whey, the salted caramel one. But we'll finish the process and be able to report back on all of these here. So I'm going to put this in the freezer and we'll come back after they're frozen and ready for a texture and taste test. Okay, let's see what we've got with our 2 bars. So this is the milk-based one. I made salted caramel. It's not yet fully frozen, so this is behaving just like the raspberry one where it took quite a while to freeze. So I noticed the beef-based one freezes much faster. But I like that texture. I like that, and man, I love that. I love the salted caramel. That's delicious, but it is a bit of a different texture than the chocolate one, but I would absolutely make this. So I think this is the winning recipe, okay, regardless of the protein powder, and this isn't set yet. So I need to put these back in the freezer. All right, I guess I was a little anxious. We'll come back. Okay, back in this segment, ready to give my verdict on the pea protein based protein bar. So this is the chocolate one, and you can see it's very different. Even though it's the same recipe, and let me get one out just to remind you. Let me see if I can find it here. That's not it. Here we go. So it's the exact same recipe, minus what I put on top here. As this one here. You notice even the color is different. So beef-based protein powder, pea-based protein powder. Look at the difference the protein powder makes, you guys. So the pea-based one is much creamier. The pea-based one is like a fudge. And you can taste the, I've heard vegan protein powders referred to as having an earthy, oops, I dropped my mic, as having an earthy taste. And that definitely comes across. So again, you guys, just to show you what a profound difference the beef-based protein powder has versus a plant-based one. So now that will do it for my protein bars. So I would make this recipe with, my first choice would be beef. And then my second choice would be the one like I did with the salted caramel, which is a milk protein based with a little bit of the whey, where this is beef based with a little bit of the whey. Okay? So there you have it, guys. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this. I'm leaning towards maybe making this a 3-part series. We'll see. But that'll do it for the series. Thanks for watching again, and I think I mentioned it before. I hope you got a lot out of this, because I certainly did, and I'm thrilled now because I've got I've batch prepped all my protein bars, so I'm thrilled. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.